I don't want this one. I don't want. Send another one, please. I promise I'm not being ungrateful. I promise.
Money, but is cheap and stingy. He is the worst thing is a man who has money but is cheap and stingy. He is worse than a broke man. Next caller. Because even though he has finally got himself to a financial status, that means he didn't manage to change his mindset. And if you get in a serious relationship with this kind of man, he's definitely going to be stingy to you in other aspects as well. God forbid you decide to have a kid with that kind of man. Oh my goodness. Look, there's only one life to live and you can't take your money to the grave with you. So nobody got time to deal with a man who got money but is stingy and cheap. Nope. Next caller.
Hello, ladies. Hello, sun and sunflower. Now we're gonna be talking about how to chase away stingy men. Yep, because we don't have time for stingy men, and this is something that has been happening right now to a friend of mine. And I'm gonna be telling you guys the tea. I'm gonna be dropping the tea over here because she's been coming to me for advice and help. And since she started seeing this guy that is very, very wealthy, she did her research like I normally say over here. Do your research, make sure that the man is legit, all of that. And she did her research. She found him on a dating app. Ladies. And he owns a construction company over here in Germany. And a big one at that. So it's not as if he doesn't have the money. He has a lot of money. And another thing, the reason why she came to me for help and all of that, because she met this guy, online. And I'm gonna say this: be aware of men that you meet online, ladies, because I'm starting to think these online guys. See, there are a lot of pygmies in dating sites. There are a lot of women that are pygmies in dating site, and they are easy picking. And many of these men will just go on dating site, pick themselves a woman, take them on a date, expect them to put out, and all of a sudden they're not going to be paying you all that kind of attention anymore. They're not going to be paying you much attention. If you have a problem, they're not going to want to solve it for you. So let me just narrate to you guys the problem that my homegirl having right now. So she met this guy. She researched him on LinkedIn to make sure that his company is legit, everything. And this man, ladies, I'm going to tell you, this man is not afraid to show her, his company physically, like to take her there, show her. Yeah, he has a lot of workers, people working for him. So he's doing good. He has a big company, and the property where his company is in is his own property. So the man is doing good. He even has a house in Italy. And every day, this man sends her photos. You get me? He sends her photos of himself every day and telling her that, he misses her. Oh, God, this and that. And I'm like, this is just love bombing. This is love bombing. So he told her he's a man that is in his 50s and he's a divorcee. He's been dating a woman that is around, she's in her 40s. She's around, 46, 47. And he's been dating this woman after he divorced his wife for good 4 to 5 years now, what he told her. But the woman that is dating, he and her separated, like they're not together anymore. But and let me just narrate this because this is tea time. It's tea time, so I'm gonna be spilling all the tea over here. Yeah. So he said he's no longer with this woman, but they have a pet. He has 2 pets, 2 dogs, and she has 1 dog. The dogs are the same breed, and she has 1 dog. Every time he always, she went on a date with this man, and he brought his dog on the first date. I said, first red flag. How did you feel about going on a date with a man that came with his pet? And she was like, girl, it was stressful because the dog kept stopping and trying to sniff out bushes and flowers and all of that, trying to find a scent of other dogs because they went to a very popular destination over here. And they have parks over there. There are also restaurants around and parks. So the dog was just sniffing all the time. And she didn't really enjoy the date because of the dog. The dog was sniffing. You see, I'm a dog person. I love dogs, but bringing your dog on a first date is a total red flag. It's terrible. So after the first date, they couldn't go inside a restaurant. They couldn't go into a warm place or anywhere, that they can actually really enjoy themselves. So they went to, first of all, they went to a restaurant because he had to put the dog in the car, but have to open the window because they wouldn't allow them to go. And she insisted to go on a restaurant date. They went to the restaurant, but they didn't spend a lot of time in the restaurant because of the dog. He kept going out to check on the dog. And I told her that dog was on a date because I think he was more on a date with his dog than with you. So she said later on they decided, okay, they're gonna go to a bar, and they couldn't enter the bar because of the dog. So they had to sit outside, and it was cold and chilly. The wind over here, and it was close to the lake. So the lake wind in the night, it is very, very cold, and the dog is there. So she said the first date was horrible. She didn't like it, but she just pretended that she liked it. And I asked her about the guy. Do you like the guy? She said she doesn't like him. He doesn't have the looks when it comes to, the kind of man she likes. He doesn't have the not about the ethnicity, but the facial structure, There are some people that are very, very handsome, and there are some people that don't have it. It doesn't matter which ethnicity you're from. If you don't have it, you don't have it. So when homegirl was telling me all of this, I was sitting down with my wine drinking, girl. So he decided he was going to go to Italy, and he wanted to go to Italy to have like 3 days off. He ended up going he went on Wednesday and he came back around Sunday. So it was not 3 days. And then he kept sending her photos. Every day he sends this girl photos, every day, of himself in the gym. He has his own personal gym at home, so he doesn't go to gym outside. He has his gym in his house. So he sends her everyday photos, love bombing, I miss you, this. Tell me why, when this man was in Italy, he sent her a photo of the dogs, but 3 dogs. So that means he went to Italy with his ex, or I think he's still dating that woman, but he's looking for a replacement for her. He's still dating that woman, but he's looking for a replacement for her. Or he just want to, find something outside, enjoying himself, and be a cheating ass person. So he sent her 3 photos. Many photos, but then he sent her a photo with 3 dogs, which is one of the dogs was from his ex. And she asked me, should I tell him that I know that he was on this trip with his ex? Should I tell him? And I was like, girl, you ain't about to say nothing. You saw those 3 dogs act as if you're stupid. You don't know what is happening. Be oblivious to it. Just say the photos are nice. Say it's a nice photo. Be oblivious to it. Act stupid. Act as if you don't know what is happening. You want this guy money, or you just want to chase him away? She said, no, he has a lot of money, this, that. See, ladies, let me tell you something. Don't be dating a guy that you will just be bragging about. He has a lot of money, but he can't do anything for you. That's the message today. Don't be out here trying to date it. He has a lot of money, but he ain't doing anything for me. Because at the end of the day, you might end up dating a millionaire, billionaire, and you will come out of that relationship with absolutely nothing, penniless. All you've done is put in the work while the other person just took you to a restaurant. Because let me tell you something. How much is he going to pay on a date if you go out on a date with him to a restaurant, especially if he's wealthy? He's probably going to pay, let me say, highest here in Germany. If you go out, the restaurants here are very nice. So let's say maximum he might pay around 100 euros or a little bit more, but I don't think it's gonna be going up to 300 and such. So he will take you out on a restaurant date. Yeah. So tell me why homegirl then told him, okay, I said, she told him if he could bring her some Italian bags, because Italy has a lot of good bags, and that is where they manufacture some of the brands, the good brands. And she said, okay, since I'm gonna act oblivious as if I don't know that he's over there with his so-called ex, as he tells her, I'm gonna ask him to bring me some bags, bring me some merchandise, bring me something from Italy. Tell me why this man turned around and be like, oh no, you know what? When I come back, we're gonna go for shopping. I'm like, red flag too. But I understand it's on the date. We are acting dumb right now. We are acting as if, yeah, on the shoes, yeah, girl. We're gonna act dumb as if we don't know what is happening. We're gonna act as if we don't know that he was on that trip with his ex because we saw the three dogs. We're gonna act stupid. And I said, okay, we're gonna just move on and be like, okay, you know what? It is what it is. When you come home, we go shopping, no problem. And then when he got home, he was like, oh, we should do something together. And I'm like, have he ever mentioned going on shopping since he came back, since he actually promised you, oh, you both are gonna go on shopping? And homegirl looked me in the eye and said he has never brought that topic back up. I'm like, okay, another red flag. This man is just full of red flags. He's got the money, but he doesn't want to spend money. I'm like, okay. He didn't ask you where you want to go shopping. I mean, at the end of the day, if you go shopping with him, where are you going to, what is he gonna pay? Because at the end of the day, maybe shopping for clothes, and unless you want to take him to a jewelry store, which at the end of the day he might get there, and you choose one particular jewelry that probably might cost around 2K, and he'd be like, no, I don't have the money. And you're like, even if you feel like you want to embarrass him, he might turn out and people over there and might start looking at you in some weird way, like you're trying to use him for his money and all of that, and looking at all the people. Strangers have weird looks, especially if you want something and the man is saying no. It's just embarrassing to you as well. Okay, so later on she tried to organize. Yeah, he testing her. He testing her. Or he's testing. I don't think he's testing her. I don't think so. I don't think he's testing her. I don't think. So later on, after he did say all of that, she decided, okay, you know what? Since we want to do something together, how about we go to a classic show? Because she said, okay, since I really don't like this guy that much, at least I can use him to go into social events, like high events that people that have that kind of money, so I can get in there and get me somebody that maybe I really like, and move on. So tell me why she was the one trying to organize this date. She told him, okay, what about if we go to an event, maybe go and watch, go to an opera, or go to an exhibition, watch what they have over there, or something that is very nice. And tell me why this man turn around and be like, oh, I'm not really a classic guy. I don't like going to classic events. And I'm like, red flag number, at this point, I don't know how many red flags. I'm saying red flag number 3. He doesn't like going to classical events. That is like showing you like he might be a minimalist, but we're not going to judge him on that. I still left my options open. I'm going to see how all of this is going. This man doesn't miss a day when he doesn't send her photos. He sends her photos all the time. So she would plan events, and she would like, you know what, let's go. She would plan dates where she can go and also mix up with the ones that are wealthy over there. And he'd be like, oh no, I don't want to go there. But later on said, okay, we can go to another state. But we can go to another state over here in Germany, Munich. We can go to Munich because Munich is known to be one of the places where a lot of companies are and a lot of wealthy people are also there. So he said, we can go to Munich, and he didn't even plan the date. The first date that they went to, he didn't plan it. Red flag. If a man doesn't plan a first date, red flag. He didn't plan the second date that they went to. So the first date, terrible. He went with the dog. Second date that they went to, he didn't plan it. So they just end up, riding around. At the end of the day, they had to go to a bar because she didn't want to go to a restaurant anymore. She was like, no, I'm not going to go to a restaurant. I have already eaten. I'm not hungry. I'm not going to be, it's not going to be every time we want to go on a date, we go to a restaurant. And he asked, are you hungry? And she said, no, I'm not hungry. So they end up going to a bar. And then she said they went up at the end of the day, they went to a disco and he dropped her back home. So he didn't mention the shopping anymore. He didn't talk about that shopping that he promised her. We were just looking at him with side eye. I'm over here looking at her like, so the bag you asked him to bring from Italy, he didn't bring the bag. He was on this trip with his ex. He told you that he's not together with his ex-girlfriend, but he sent you a photo of 3 dogs, which means 1 dog is from his ex. It is giving all kind of red flags. So tell me why, when he talk about, okay, let's go to Munich, and he turned around and be like, it's a long drive from where we live, to Munich. So they're going to have to, he's going to have to rent a hotel. I looked homegirl in the eye. I looked at my homegirl. I'm like, what did he say? What did he say? Did he just open his mouth and say he's gonna rent a hotel where you two can stay? It sounds like he's trying to get the goods without doing anything. So he probably planning on getting the real deal, and he hasn't done anything to show that he deserves any kind of your time like that, apart from wasting your time taking you on a date when you can be going on a date with somebody else. That time is wasted. Or you could be at home watching Netflix and chilling. That is a time well spent. That is at least you're enjoying yourself. You are not being inconvenienced by somebody else. So tell me why homegirl came back, and she was like, he said that he wants to book a hotel in Munich so we can stay over there. I'm like, girl, he hasn't even crossed the 1,000 euro mark. He hasn't, because I kept a budget for her, how much he could spend before she started taking things seriously. He hasn't even gone there, and he's talking about he wanna rent a hotel. And I look at him, girl, and I laughed my ass off. I laughed. I would lie. I said, this man, okay, he playing you. Now he's a joker. He's somebody that is joking. Tell me why. After that, homegirl like, okay, let's go to somewhere close. And he's like, no, let's go to this place. Let's go there so that we can spend more time together and we can stay in this hotel. She was like, no, you know what? We are not going to be doing that. In fact, she didn't even reply anymore. And she just said, let's go to another state that is very close to us over here. But he didn't reply about somewhere that is closer where they could just drive to and come back. He didn't want that. He wants somewhere that is far. And I'm like, okay, let's say, for example, you go to Munich with him. Let's say you take him to a very expensive, shop. Let's say you go to a jewelry shop and you pick out something that is very expensive. And at the end of the day, he doesn't pay for it. How are you going to do it? You're going to take a train and you're going to have to come back to where we live over here. That is just too much inconvenience. No, that is too much stress, too much trouble. That is a no-no. So I'm trying to narrate all these things that have been happening to homegirl. So, later on he asked her, oh, do you want to come on and spend the time with me in my house? And I'm like, that is a no. No dates at home. You don't do home dates. No. He doesn't want to go to classical events. He doesn't want to go to anywhere that, might give you opportunity to meet other people, even if you don't want him. It's giving, come stay with me. Let's have home dates. Yeah, I have money, but I'm not going to spend it on you. It kind of reminds me of this other podcast. This is Shiva 7. When she said this, let me just bring up this video before we continue.
They don't want to spend it on you. And this means that you're not the type of woman that they spend on. Men with money. Can you speak on dealing with men who have money but seem stingy with it? They don't want to spend it on you. And this means that you're not the type of woman that they spend on. Men with money will spend money on the type of women that they want to spend on. You may be a placeholder until their type appears. Okay. And it's sad to say, but not all rich men spend on every woman. They spend on some women and they don't spend on other women. Okay, so if they're not spending on you, you're a placeholder. And because they can meet another woman a week later and be spending money left and right on her because that's the type that they want. So if they're not spending money, you're usually not their type. So you're a placeholder until their type comes along. So don't even bother with them, you know. Don't try to figure out how you can get them to spend. They will spend if they are trying to impress you and keep you and invest in you because they want you around a long time. If they're not trying to do that, you're not the one that they really want.
And that is exactly what I told her. I said, he's giving a lot of red flags. He's giving, and the fact that he told you he's no longer with his ex and he sent you a photo of 3 dogs, that is just, no. That's not, that is a no in our book. And I'm like, girl, you're going to have to chase this man away because he is sucking the energy out of you right now. You might have not, done anything in bed with him, but no, I don't like this kind of energy. Anybody with this kind of energy, I don't like them around me. And I'm going to say this, women are not the only ones that don't like stingy men. Even men don't like stingy men. Like this man over here that was talking about, if a man is stingy, he is not fun to be around. Let me just bring this video up in here.
Stingy, not very fun. You're going to meet guys and they may have... What do you think about men who have money that are frugal, borderline stingy? Not very fun. You're going to meet guys and they may have $1 million net worth, for example. They're trying to get a discount. They're not very fun to hang out with. Some people are so cheap that it takes all the fun out of it.
Let me say this. There are men that can put up with stingy men. And I'm going to tell you this. I have seen men that are stingy and their friend groups don't like inviting them to anything. They don't like inviting them to any occasion. Like the men could like group around, have an occasion, plan something with family and friends. But that stingy friend over there, he's going to be the last person they're going to invite. If they have, they're going to be like, no. Men don't like stingy men either. They don't. So I don't know why women should be putting up with stingy men. Like the last lady said, is it Shira? She said, yeah, you're not the kind of woman he sees. Like you are not the type he want to spend money on. Either he's looking for someone to hold the place of his ex or the woman that he's dating, because I think he's still dating that woman. I think he's still dating her because going on a trip with somebody to Italy is crazy. Having their dog and he cannot say, oh, I just brought her dog over here to Italy. Nah, no. He's with that woman. He's just trying to play outside with his cheating ass. He's trying to cheat out here. See, ladies, we are not here to look for Mr. Crab from Bikini Bottom. You are not going to be out here looking for Mr. Crab. He got money, but he ain't spending it on me. You are not in Bikini Bottom looking for Mr. Crab in Bikini Bottom that can't spend anything on you, can't do anything for you, but expect more. So while he told her that he could rent a hotel, I'm like, yeah, he's just trying to, he's just trying to nail. The moment he gets that, he's going to be out of here real fast. So tell me why homegirl then told me she wants to know if she's going to chase him away or not, because he's just wasting her time. And every day he is literally sending her photos. Like she has more photos of him than I think she has of me. Because each day this man would take photos and send it to her each day, telling her how he miss her, how he wants to go out with her, all the blah, 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 blah. Today, homegirl decided, okay. She said, how does she, get money from this man? So first she was like, okay, maybe I'll tell him I need a new phone. I'm like, girl, we're going to have to, be more, dramatic with what we need, because this is another thing. Let me bring this video up here first before I say the kind of advice I gave her and the result that it gave us today.
Always tell him, yeah, I need to pay. A stingy man who has money is only going to drop money when it's an emergency. So you got to always tell him, yeah, I need to pay my rent. Oh, yeah, babe, something happened to my car. Oh, yeah, every freaking excuse in the book, you need to find it and tell him so he can drop that money. If you know that man has money and he's sitting there not giving you money even after you told him you have a problem. Next caller immediately.
And that's exactly what I told her. I said, okay, homegirl, we're gonna have to fix this. Okay, she said she's gonna tell him she has a problem with the phone. I'm saying, we're not gonna go that small. So we're gonna have to, collect ourselves and, try to bring up some problems and see if he can solve it. And she was like, should I ask him directly and say, okay, can you give me money? I said, we are not about to ask him for money. We're about to tell him you need this money. You need this. This is what you need. And she also needs like a driving license over here in Germany. Let me tell you, ladies, it's not cheap over here to get a driving license. It's around 3,000 or upwards, around 5,000 to get a driving license because, that is how Germany does it. Things. Everything over here is expensive. So homegirl decided, okay, she was going to write to him and be like, oh, I'm having a problem with my phone. He just said, oh, that's just terrible. That's bad. I'm like, And then I said, okay, tell him that, because she needs money for her driving license. She was like, and okay, she wanted to tell him that she's been saving money for her driving license. And I'm like, no, we are not going to tell him that you've been saving money. We're going to tell him you're planning on saving money for a driving license. And now your phone is broke. You don't have a good phone anymore. So let's see these problems if he can solve it. So she wrote, okay, my phone is broken. I need a new phone. And then she later on wrote, he was like, oh, it's just bad. It's terrible. This, that. And then she later on wrote, I've been planning on, saving money for a driving license. And now that the phone is broke, it's just terrible. It disturbs my mood. When you say planning, it means you don't have the money. You are not saving yet. So at least you're not saying I have money. You're saying I don't have money. I'm just planning on. So you can decide and come in and be like, okay, what do you need me to do? Do you need something? Or how much can I give you to help you with this or that? If he came up with any of those excuses, I would have been like, okay, at least he's offering help. But tell me why this man decided to send her an emoji, with the funny emoji where the monkey closes their eye. The emoji that you get on your phone, that the monkey closes their eye, like, oh, like shy or something. So he sent out this crazy ass emoji. Girl, did I laugh? I laughed and I said, it's about time you chase this man away. Yep, he's a time-sucking vampire. He sends you, text messages each day, sends you photos each day, lied to you, told you that he's no longer with his ex-girlfriend, went over there with her, and then sent you. And if he didn't send the evidence, I wouldn't have believed that. It's the fact that he sent the 3 dogs, because one of the dog is from his ex. I'm like, so he went with his ex's dog to Italy. What the heck? And then you asked him to bring you back from, Italy on his way home, and he told you, oh, we're gonna go shopping over here, and yet he didn't bring up the topic of that shopping anymore. Okay. And I'm like, no, this man is a player. See, I don't understand. At this point, I'm gonna start advising women not to date men from dating side, because let me tell you something. There are a lot of pick-me's over there. There are a lot of easy women on dating side nowadays. I'm just gonna call it what it is. There are a lot of women that would see what this man have, because this man was not shy to show her what he has. He was not shy to show her his company, show her his house and all the big things, to brag about what he has. But now that she got problem, he over here sending this crazy ass emoji. I'm like, girl, you're gonna have to drop this man. You're gonna have to drop him and focus on somebody else. I mean, you said in the looks department, he's not your type. He has all this money and he ain't spending it on you. It's a waste of time. Like the other video, you're a placeholder. He hasn't met the girl that he really would spend that kind of money on, or he's still with his ex. It's not even he's still there, but he's looking for a replacement. And It is not, you don't want to find out either way. So you're gonna have to drop this man. Tell me why later on he sends our love emoji. Girl, did I laugh? We sat down and we laughed together. Like literally, we sat down and we laughed together because I'm like, nah, he a player. Let him go. Let him go. He's cheating on his girlfriend. And he's out here looking for cheap, he's out here looking for a woman that he can cheat on her easily. He doesn't go to classic shows. Every date that you've planned that involve mingling with people that have money and have stuff, he's like, I don't like to go to that place. I don't want to go to that place. No, that is not the guy for you. Let him go. So let me bring up this video over here of this girl literally talking about stingy man.
They will expect you to do a lot and offer nothing in return. The only thing, be aware of this type of men, stingy men. They will expect you to do a lot and offer nothing in return. The only thing that they are offering is food, and they will expect you to be glad for it. So if you ever ask for money to buy something that you like, they will always remind you that they are feeding you. So if you don't want to end up in a mental hospital or a hospital in general, avoid these men. They will drive you insane and give you silly little arguments. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he wanted to go on a restaurant date as usual. I'm like, girl, don't do it. Are you hungry? I was looking at, she said she ain't hungry. I'm like, yeah, I understand a lot of people want to go on a restaurant date, but how much is that gonna cost? Yes, what are you gonna eat in a restaurant? Tell me, what are you gonna eat? And you can't be in a restaurant trying to eat crazy things, and it's just madness. No, if we cannot help you financially, no. And I'm so glad that she never put up. She has never been sexually active with this man. I'm like, no. It's a good thing that you haven't done anything that you would have regretted today. It's a good thing that you haven't done none of that, because now it's much more easier for you to just drop him on the side. And the fact that he's sending the love emoji, oh, I miss you emoji, after you don't tell this man your problem, and he's over here sending you a love emoji, not bringing any solutions to the problem at hand. I'm like, no, he's definitely not the one. You're gonna have to let him go. And she's asking me nowadays, she asked me before she left today, like, what should she do? How should she chase this man away? I'm like, we have already tried to chase him away, because you've literally told him about your problem and he sends you love emoji. You're telling him you have a problem with money. He's sending you love emoji and not bringing up. I'm like, you know what? Since you told him your phone is broken, anytime he sends you a text message, any message at all, don't reply. Don't reply until he comes right. If he doesn't come correct, no. Don't reply him. Don't reply. Your phone is broken. You told him already the phone is broken. Don't reply him. Focus on other people. Go out there and find somebody else. And she's a very, very pretty girl. Like, if you see this girl, she is very pretty. She is that kind of pretty that, a lot of European men like. And she is not in a shortage of men. She always have, men wanting to go out on a date with her. She is not somebody that she would walk out of the house and come back without no. If she goes out, there are many men that are very, very interested. She has this lovely face and a good body too. The kind of body that the men over here really values. And I'm like, girl, no, we are not doing this. You're too pretty for this nonsense. You're gonna have to. This is a no-go. Yeah, cheap. Yeah, he cheap. So I'm like, girl, So maybe the next time I'm just gonna tell her, you know what, next time, because you told him you have a problem. You try to use money to pursue him or to see if he can, cross that line. Because normally when you wanna chase away a dusty, you bring out the bill. You just give him the bill to something, or you tell him you need money or something, and then a dusty will quickly run away. But this one, no, he wants to still stay after he cannot contribute anything. And I'm like, girl, no. He's a no. Just don't answer his text messages anymore. Let him be sending himself text messages. And ladies, I'm going to also say this before we go. if you are somebody that you're getting a lot of DMs from men, and there is a particular guy that you don't want to go on a date with, and he continues, DMing you, and don't have sympathy on men. Don't be like, okay, I'm gonna go on a pity date. Don't go on a pity date, because let me tell you something. If you are not a woman that a man likes physically, your appearance is not what he likes, he wouldn't go on a date with you. He wouldn't even talk to you. He wouldn't go on a pity date with you. They will not give you the same, affection that you are out here trying to give you. They will not pity you. A lot of men do not pity women that are not attractive to their standard. If they don't find you attractive, they're not even going to be nice to you. I've had women that view themselves as unattractive, and they come out here and they're like, you know what, men don't treat me this way. They don't give me this kind of treatment. In fact, they just stay away from me, and they are not nice. They're normally not nice to women that they don't find attractive. So if you are not finding a man attractive, don't go on a pity date. Don't ever. And in fact, if you can, just block the person from your DM and keep your life moving. Don't go on a pity date. Don't do any of that. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna say this. Thank you all for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed the whole story. This was a true life story today, girl. And the best way to chase a stingy man away is to ask for money. And if he insists to stay there, just ignore him. The best way is to ignore him. Ignore everything about him. That is not who you're looking for. Because if you try to use money to chase him away and he's still there, don't waste your energy. It's a waste of energy. Now, with that being said, I'm going to say this. Thank you all for being here once more. Do not forget to press that like button. Let me know what you think about this whole crazy shenanigans that just went out in the comment section. And don't forget to press that like button, subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one. Have a great day and goodbye.